Okay, so add beams. You have this in lectures as well. Before that, I want to go to Revit and make sure that you understand that the pad is on in all of the views except the ones that you have used visibility and graphics to hide it. So that includes the 3D model. So I'm going to go to visibility and graphics, VV, and I'm going to go to topography and uncheck it. That was the terrain I did just a second before. And VV, visibility and graphics, you go to site, you expand it, and you uncheck pads. And now you know that things are doing okay. Now the file I have in front of me does not have the slabs here, so don't think this is the correct and the ultimate last option. You guys are doing much better than I am at this point. You should be more comfortable with what you have in front of your screen than what I have in front of my screen, because I don't have time in such a short time to do that. Okay, so let's do step by step add beams. Okay, we're going to add beams to the gym, to the atrium, and the lab. Add first, and then we're going to add the slab, the floor slab. Okay, so let's go. We're going to add beams by going to structure, and we're going to select load family, and you will understand why now. If I go to a structure and I say beam, and I expand the different types of beam or families that have been loaded, I only have the W white range. I need concrete beams for the basement level. Okay, so in order to get new beams, you say load family, you go to structure, framing, concrete, and the first one is concrete rectangular beam, and there you have it. You say open. There we have another one. Now I see that concrete rectangular beams are 1224 and 1632. Not many, no? We're going to need many more, like at least 4 more, so we'll do them by editing type later on. Okay, I'm going to escape that and keep on reading. It's quite clear. We're going to start adding in grids. First of all, before that, I want to explain how do you place a beam in a more straightforward way. Okay, so if you go to beam, you select, for example, the concrete one. There's an option when you put beams, it's called 3D snapping. You can click that, and you have to wait for, you see how you have different snapping points or snapping symbols? You really need the little circle there. Okay, so you need that one. You click that on top of a column, and you wait for the other one here. Okay, there it is. And it places a beam that you will see in all views, all sections, because it's a 3D object. You can select it and change it to other type. If you wanted to create other types, it would be just selecting edit type, duplicate. I'm going to make this window smaller. Duplicate, you change your B and your H, no? And I'll tell you in a second what B's and H you need, depending on the case. Okay, so you could go one by one beam and place the beam, and you go on top, and you go for the next one, etc. Okay, so that will be actually the most precise way to go, I think. But if you want to do it fast, then you will see that it has convenience, but it has also inconvenience. You can go to the level 1, where is it? Composite. And you can start placing in the level that it corresponds the beams by selecting grids. You select grids. Okay, I'm going to cancel that before to show where it's going to be. It's going to tell us here where it is. It's going to be actually in the level that we are. No, if you're not sure where in what level it should be, you can always go to either your sections or your elevations and double check. It's actually here. No, perfect. So again, level 1, composite, beams, and you have the option on grids. Now it's not like placing columns. If you select grids, you have to press Control to add more grids. Okay, you select all the grids, until you have selected the ones that form the project. I'm pressing Control again, and you see you have already in light gray where the beams are gonna go, so you can pretty much be more comfortable. As in, you see already that some of them are gonna have to be deleted later on. You say finish once you're done, and just to show you that there are many mistakes if you do it this way, unfortunately, you're gonna have to fix a little bit and clean up a little bit your beams. For example, we don't want concrete beams in the sides because we have the partition wall, so I would have probably not selected that one. In the video you're going to say you could have said that before, no? Anyway, you probably don't want to select that one either, no? You don't want to select this one, neither that one. So in your computer, obviously you were done centuries ago, because this one's quite slow. I would have recommend Control C later on and selecting the grids again, because you learn as you go, no? Now we have to wait quite a bit. Let me see if I can even. Okay, we cancel that and we select again. Again, in your option, you could do it much better. We don't select that one. We select this one. We press Control to select more. We don't select this one, neither that one. We don't select this one. So yes, yes, not that one. Yes, and yes. Say finish. And again, it's going to take a while. There it goes. No, it doesn't go. You guys can, you know, ta-da-da and sing or something. Normally when I do this at home, it takes literally 3 seconds or 4, so you shouldn't have this problem. This is gonna tell you, so you just delete, you say delete type, it's fine. And let's go to the 3D, and you have all your grids, your beams. First of all, we see that we have beams here, so we select and delete those. And we're not gonna bother about that yet. We should also have placed there. We can also just fix that again here by pressing 3D snapping, 3D snapping, It's a bit slower, and that's what you get. Okay, I think it's quite straightforward. Good. Again, all of the beams are exactly the same now. Here's one thing they're going to fix later on. If you get close to the ending point, you see that blue thing? That's a little mistake. It extends the grid and extends the beam behind the column. Not cool, not good. You can select those in different ways to delete them, like this. Just make sure that you're only selecting them. You can go to Wireframe WF and select those in blue and delete them. And you're going to have pretty much one in every ending of a beam, no? There you go. Rotate there. You have there, it's good. But I probably have there. There you go. Delete. Nothing. No. Good. Okay, ZA to zoom extend, HL to hidden line, and we got it. Okay. Now, this explains the same process. If you go to the structural floor that we have for level 1 composite. Somebody asked, how do we get rid of the green lines? Well, you just select them because they're printing. When you're printing this, you can just hide category and it gets rid of. Make sure that you really select the green lines, otherwise. Okay, and that way you might want to bring it up later on in rebuild, and that's it. We are under a structural plan, and somebody asked me at previous classes, well, there's this tags. So the way to put tags to anything is as simple as going to annotate. You press tag all if you want to tag all of something, and you select what something you want to tag. In this case, structural framing and box. If you have two options, just choose the box option, okay? You say okay, and there you get it. All are number with the height and depth of each of the beams, okay? Now you have a little bit of a mess here that could be cleaned a bit, definitely. And you could also see if you have some of these boxes in places where they shouldn't, no? For example, if you have if you mistaken and you place another beam where it's not supposed to, you're going to see that the beam the box is also there, no? Okay, so the question is more about what beam goes where, which is, you know, let's play a little bit like we know a bit of engineering. Like the basic numbers of a concrete beam have to be changed, okay? So here's a little rule of 16 kind of a logic, and I'm going to explain it very fast, but actually you get to meet these two numbers and fix them in Revit. The rule of 16, if you divide the span in feet, you make it in inches and you divide it by 16, you get pretty much the round up makes the height of your beam, basically. And then you divide by 2, okay, and you get the round up number for your width, okay? So basically here I have highlighted for each of the spans. Let's say you have a span of 10 feet, you have to create an 8 by 4 concrete beam section, okay? If you have a span of 2410, you need to create a beam of 1910. So these two numbers, 19 and 10, are actually in Revit, if I select the beam, are these two numbers. So for example, let's do one very fast. 3819 is for a span of 50. If you don't know your spans, I do recommend that you go to annotate, align, and start dimensioning already. This should go anyway in the plans. And this should be also organized in the most orderly way as possible, okay? For a 50, we need a 38 by 19. So for that, we need to select the beam. We say edit type because this is not the one we want to place. We need to duplicate. It's thinking. And we call it 19 by 38. So this is going to be 19. It's going to be 38. Yes. Okay. You say okay, and now you have to change these ones as well to the lower number is the lower number, so meaning this is 19 inches and this is 38 inches. Now you have to put the inches little symbol, otherwise if you don't put the symbol, it's going to be like feet, so be careful with that. So you say okay. That means that I can select any beam now that is 50 feet span. I'm pressing Control. And because I created a duplicate, I have it here under 1938. It changes not only the beam itself, but also the tag. Okay, I'm going to leave it there.